So for this video we're going to have a look at Macro, which I think I mentioned in the Zoom video but we didn't look at. But this is Macro, and Macro allows you to take close-ups of subjects, and I have my little helpful assistant, my little Hello Kitty strappy thing. If I try and focus on this really small little thing with the camera set to standards focusing, then it doesn't work. I can't get it nice and focused. So we can make use of autofocus instead. Not autofocus, macro focus. Most cameras it will be identified by the little tulip symbol. So if I set the tulip, and on this camera I can change the focusing mode from standard to macro. We've also got infinity as an option, which means you can focus to infinity or thereabouts. So if I set it to macro, and the camera shows me it's set to macro with a little tulip symbol, and I don't know if you can see that, but you can see that my little cat is now properly focused on the screen. And I'm relatively close to it, and I can take a photo, and it's very dark because it's very dark. If we have a look on the Samsung, again I've got the little macro symbol, the little tulip, and before I set that I can't focus on the Hello Kitty bracelet. If I set it to macro, it's very dark, it's not letting me focus on it. There we go. And you can't see that because it's too dark, but it does let you focus on things very, very close to the camera. And again, do be aware, if your camera is still set to macro mode when you turn it off, then it probably will be when you turn it back on, and that can cause huge problems, because if you're trying to focus on something far away really quickly and your camera was set to macro, it wouldn't let you, because macro means you can't focus anywhere but far away, close to rather. Some cameras will also have a super macro setting. Super macro is similar to digital zoom. It's not an optical setting on the camera, it's the camera's onboard computer allowing you to get that much closer, and again it can distort the image that much more. So that's macro mode. We use macro to get close to a subject, and I do mean physically close. It's not necessarily going to work if you try and zoom in on a subject whilst you've got macro mode set, because it won't necessarily work. It does mean that you do have to physically get closer to your subject.